These shoelaces, I made them on my knitting machine. And today I'm going to show you how I did it. I used 2 different fibers, 2 different methods, and these are the ones I like the best. So this is an example of my flatbed knitting machine and the cotton, crochet cotton used as the material. This is done with a slip stitch one direction and knitted the other direction. So what I end up with is a nice little tube, a nice little idiot cord we call them. And this is the same machine with different material, knitted with the acrylic yarn. It's a very fine yarn. And this is 4 stitches knit back and forth with no slip stitch. This is an example of the cord knitted on the circular knitting machine. I've taken all the needles out except for the needles that I'm knitting on. And this would be the same as a slip stitch. I'm going all the way around the cylinder, so one direction it slips. And my final example is of the acrylic type yarn. This is the red acrylic yarn that I used on the circular knitting machine, knit back and forth so it knits both directions. Okay, the majority of these I did on my flatbed machine, these ones. But this one I did do on the circular sock machine. So I wanted to show you that. This is, when I put the end on, I'm gonna do it past that point because that point was a bit of a mess. But this was done on 4 needles. And I cranked in a circle. So it would be as if I were slipping one row, which would be equivalent to this one. And you can see that this was done on the flatbed machine. This was 4 needles on the sock machine. This was 3 needles on the flatbed machine. And you can see it makes a very nice little tube. All right. This one was 5 needles on the flatbed machine, and it is an acrylic polyester mix, and it's quite chunky. It was not slipped, so it was knit back and forth, so it made it quite thick. And because this is an acrylic and it has nylon in it, we won't put the aglet on with heat gun. We will use sturdy tape for the aglet instead. So those 5 stitches on the flatbed machine. This one was 5 stitches on the flatbed machine and it was slipped. No, it wasn't. It was knit back and forth. It was knit back and forth. This is cotton. Same material that I used here. Okay, this is the one that was slipped. Do you see the bar going across right here? This bar. That's a slip. And it sort of pulls it together. If your tension is tight enough, it'll pull it together. So if it was knit flat, see how the loops are smaller? And this one, the loops are bigger. And it has a bar going across. If we open that up, you can pick out that is the slip right there. This is a little heavier material. It was carpet warp. If you compare the diameter of that with the diameter of the cotton I used, you can see that it's quite a bit larger, and it made a bit of a chunkier tube. This one was knit both directions. There's no slip stitch. I thought I slipped some of the blue one, but maybe not. Okay, so those are the samples I made. I'm going to collect my materials, and we're going to put some aglets on the ends for the shoelace part. Okay, so I've collected some materials here, and this is just a stone bowl just to rest my work on so that it doesn't melt my mat. So I have some heat shrink tubing. I'm just going to cut a little piece for each end of the shoelace. And I'm going to slip this in here. About to, actually I think I want that in there like that. If I twist a little, it'll stiffen it up enough to go in there. The first ones I did, I put a piece of wire in there. I don't know that that's necessary, but I do want to pull that out toward the end, like so. And we'll get the other end ready here. Same thing, I'm going to fold that in, slide this heat shrink stuff on here. Go in there and grab that and pull it toward the end. And I'm just using an embossing tool that I've used in my art room. You could use a heat gun. This works fine. And I'm gonna hold it with my pliers. There's one done. That one didn't seem to melt. Oh, it's still hot though. Well, it got hot, that's for sure. So there's one done. Let's see about the other one. Same thing. I'm gonna, the heat shrink tubing, it's actually from my husband's shop. It's a little heat shrink tubing kit, but you can pick up just heat shrink tubing at the hardware store. Whoops, I forgot to cut it. So we're going to cut it about a hearty 1/2 inch, not quite 3/4. Push that in there. Maybe go in and scoop the end. There we go. Just pull it down there. Gonna do the same thing on this end. There we go. Gonna grab it with my pliers. Yeah, see, these are dry or cool. Clip off that end. There we go. They're still hot. We'll wait to clip those. And now I want to show you what I'm going to do with the ones that would melt. If I tried to put heat tubing on these that were knitted from acrylic and nylon, they would melt. So I'm going to grab my tape. I have two options. This is just duct tape that is in colors, like craft colors. I also have bookbinding tape, which is reinforced tape that is very, very sticky. Okay, and I think that's what I'm going to try. I'm going to even out that cut there so that it's a little straighter. And I'm going to cut about that much. And I'm going to do that again. There we go. And I'm just going to take the end of this and I'm going to roll this on it. Kind of pulling it taut so that it stays smallish. There we go. Well, honestly, I don't know that we need to wrap that and make it thicker. We're just going to trim it off and we'll use this for the other end. Gonna give it a twist. There we go.